right? The mindset work is still powerful, but this is a deeper liberation. This is the most powerful way to create your dream reality, is that it's to go beyond the mind. It's to be able to disassociate from the thoughts and connect to our deeper truth, to our soul, right? To our inner aliveness, to our consciousness, because there is a deeper part of us. There is a deeper part of us that goes beyond the mind, right? And most people are so connected to their mind, they think it is them, right? The incessant thoughts in your head, they are what for most of the planet is running the show, right? Is running the show. You are feeling in response to the incessant thoughts in your head. And if they are good thoughts, and I'm kind of like doing the, inverted little brackets, if they are good thoughts, then you feel good. But if they are bad thoughts, right, or negative thoughts, then you feel bad. But what if you could actually come to a place of a deep inner aliveness, a deep inner peace, a deep inner contentment, separate from the thoughts, disassociating from the thoughts, realizing that the thoughts aren't really you, they are your mind. And your mind was meant to be a tool. It wasn't meant to run the show, right? It wasn't meant to run the show. And so there is a deeper understanding, or really a remembering, that comes with this as to how the universe actually works. Now, the other part of this is that the reason it's so difficult for most people to manifest their really, really deep desires, their strong desires, is because there is such an attachment to things. There is a neediness. And so what I mean for that, if you're someone who has been practicing manifestation and you've found that you've actually been able to create some really cool things, you've been able to manifest some things, but the things that you really, really, really want, right, that you really, really, really desire, are hard, right? Are hard. And the reason is that there's such a strong attachment to them. You are not able to let go. You're not able to release that attachment because there is a neediness there, right? There's a neediness there. There's like this sense of like trying to force it into being, to make it happen, right? Because we have been taught that we need to chase and create and have certain things to feel a certain way. So when you think about your biggest desires, why do you want them, right? Why do you want them? Because, and let's say it's great wealth. Well, I really, really want to have great wealth because then I will have incredible freedom and choices and abundance, and I'll be able to buy what I want and travel where I want. And you think that that's going to be amazing, right? Or maybe you want to have incredible success in your business because you believe that, when you reach a certain level of success, again, maybe it gives you freedom or choices, or maybe you want the love of your life because you believe that if you find that one true love, then you will feel happier, right? Then you'll feel complete, right? And this is where the problem lies. This is where the problem lies. So you can manifest anything you want. There are no limits. But we can't manifest from a place of neediness. We are not a match to something that we are hyper aware is missing, right? And we cannot seek our completeness, our wholeness, our sense of freedom or peace or fulfillment or joy in anything external, right? The money will not bring you freedom. Not really, right? Let's say you go from 6 to 7 figures in your business. The reality is, yes, you have more money. Yes, you're receiving more money. You also have a lot more responsibility. You have more going on in your business, right? There will be more payments defaulting. There will be more people to manage, maybe a team to manage. So yes, you've got more money, but do you have that feeling of freedom? What creates that feeling of freedom, right? What creates that feeling of freedom? More money gives you more choices. but it doesn't bring you happiness, right? It doesn't bring you happiness. When you really think about the things that you want to create, it always stems from believing that your life will be better in the having of it, right? Your life will be better because my business is bigger, I've got more money, I've got a more supportive partner. When I've got a child, like let's say you want to be a mother, when I manifest a child, when I create a child, then I'll feel like my life is complete. There is nothing that completes your life, right? There is nothing that completes your life. When we seek anything in the external, it never lives up to our expectations, right? Like, let's say you've been planning a dream holiday, right? You've been planning a dream holiday to some fabulous resort, and it's like a dream come true. And then you get there, and let's say it's some tropical island, and you get there, and it pours with rain the whole time, and there's heaps of mosquitoes, and the service in the hotel or the resort is really crappy. Maybe you get a bout of food poisoning. That's happened to me before on quite a few tropical holidays because of the water, right? So you've got this illusion about, oh my God, it's going to be so amazing, so blissful, right? That it's going to be so incredible. And the reality of it, it's you living your life somewhere else. Yes, it's prettier surroundings. Yes, by the ocean. I agree. Being by the ocean or at a beautiful resort is amazing. I love that too. But it doesn't really bring you happiness, right? Happiness, joy, fulfillment, it is found within. It is the only place you can find it is within, right? It is only within. And so what we need to do to manifest our dream life, there is 3 things, right? There are 3 things that we really need to do to manifest our dream life. And the first one is creating a deep connection to your soul, to your inner being, to this present moment, and finding the deep inner peace right now, no matter what your life experience, no matter if you're dead broke, if you feel like your business is failing, right? No matter what, the peace, the freedom, the abundance you seek, it is found within you right now. Because this moment right now is the only moment you ever have. You're just shifting through your life in a series of moments, right? Going to that island, that moment isn't any better than this moment. It's just in some different surroundings. I'm not saying that you can't get pleasure and joy from things in the external, but it doesn't bring the true happiness or the inner peace or the freedom that you might think it does, right? And to be able to have this inner peace, and I said finding inner peace, but it's not finding inner peace, because actually the truth of who you are is that you're a soul, and that your consciousness, your pure consciousness, and inner peace is actually the truth of who you are, right? It is the truth of who you are. You're having a life experience. Your life does not define you. And so to find this inner peace, what we need to do is to be able to disconnect from the ego, to be able to disconnect from the mind, and to find the deep acceptance for what is, right? What is right now. And what I mean disconnecting from the ego is that the ego is always judging everything, right? It's like, I'm not there yet because I haven't made this amount of money, or I set a goal and it's like, okay, let's say you're going along and you've been doing 10K months, and then you jump to 20K months, and that's amazing, it's incredible, yay. And then you have 2 months that are 5K. How do you feel, right? How do you feel? The ego is wanting to judge you. This isn't good enough. It means that you're failing. It means you're doing something wrong. What are you going to do to fix it, right? That's what the ego does. That's its pattern. It's always taking you out into the future or back into the past, and it's creating your sense of identity from your life experiences. It's judging everything as good and bad, right? This is good, this is bad. And it's only when we disconnect from that we find the deep peace. When you are happy, no matter what your life experience, you could be dead broke and unemployed and have deep happiness and inner peace. right? Your life experience doesn't define you. And it's this secret to actually manifesting your dream life is to not need it for your happiness, to really, truly release the attachment, right? Because you get to create whatever you want, but it comes from a different energy when you know that you're already enough right now, you're whole and complete right now, and that your life experience, meaning the things that are happening in your external three-dimensional reality, they don't define who you are, because no one can shift the fact that you're a consciousness, that you're a soul, right? So that is step one, deep connection to your soul, disconnecting or dissolving the ego, deep acceptance for what is, right? This is a practice of presence. And this is the first place to start, which most manifestation teachings just completely ignore, right? They just jump to the good stuff, right? Step two is really deeply understanding the quantum field, or this energy or source energy, whatever you want to call it, actually understanding how the universe works, right? There's a science there's a science and a spirituality to this. So, you know, you've been programmed to believe that the world works one way, and it's not until you truly understand how it does work that you can free yourself from false conditioning. And so what I mean is that if you've been taught all of your life that in order to have success, you need to do X, Y, Z, you need to have a very thorough marketing plan, and you need to follow these steps, and you need to show up on social media this many times a day, and If you've been taught that there's all these things to receiving, then you're always going to feel not enough, because you think it's all up to you, right? You think that your three-dimensional reality is a reflection of your actions, right? You've been taught that the universe works in a certain way, or your world works in a certain way. So think about it like this. I've got this metaphor for you. So let's say you were raised to think that the only mode of transport was a push bike, right? Let's say you were raised to think that the only mode of transport was a push bike. And that's all you knew, right? You were taught the only way to get around is a push bike, so you could ride everywhere. Let's say you wanted to cross the country. Now in Australia, it's like a bazillion kilometers or miles away, right? So if you wanted to cross the country, because you've been taught the only way to travel is a push bike, then you would have to map out how many weeks or maybe months it's going to take you to get there. You'd have to plan your stops, where you're going to sleep, how you're going to, where you're going to eat, all those things. You'd have to plan and map that all out, because you've been taught that the only way to go anywhere is on a push bike. So you'd have to map it all out, right? Now imagine discovering that planes exist, right? You've been taught all your life that only push bikes exist. Imagine finding out that actually you could jump on a plane and get there in 4 hours as opposed to 4 weeks. Imagine how your mind would be blown, right? Imagine how you would think differently, how you would show up differently, right? You would no longer be planning out all the different stops, how many weeks it's going to take you, all the things that are required, planning, packing for this trip. It's going to take you such a long time. You wouldn't be doing that, because you'd be like, I could just turn up at the airport, get on a plane and be there in 4 hours, right? I can just be there so quickly. And so understanding the quantum is like understanding that planes exist. Society has taught you that you have to get everywhere on a push bike. Understanding the quantum and how it actually operates, and the constructs of the quantum, and let's think of it this way, just to keep it easy, like actually understanding, no, a plane, it flies in the air and it goes super fast. So you no longer have to keep pedaling, right? When you understand how that works, it shifts your reality. It shifts how you show up. It shifts how you do things, because there's a new, deeper awareness and understanding of how the universe actually works, right? So the second part of creating your dream life is understanding the quantum. And the third part of it is really understanding how to command things from the quantum, right? Like, what is your part? What is not your part? How to actually identify your soul's desires and call them in, right? And understanding that it's really more the essence of your desire that you seek. Sometimes when we're thinking about manifesting our dream life, we are too specific. We think we desire things a certain way, and that's because of conditioning, because you've been taught X, Y, Z is going to make you happy. But actually, something completely different would make you happy. So it's really being able to understand what are your ego's desires, right? Just trying to fulfill the needs of the ego, and what are the desires of your soul, right? So the 3 key steps in truly manifesting the most amazing dream life is really connecting to your soul, being present in this moment, right? Finding that deep inner peace no matter what. That's step 1. Step 2, understanding the quantum, how the universe actually works. You do not need to ride a push bike across the country when you can get on a plane, right? And step 3 is really understanding how to command the quantum, like how you actually shift your energy, how you do that, how you set the intentions, and what part yours, like what your role is, how to connect to your intuition, how to take, and if there's any actions to take, what actions to take in this physical 3D world, right? Because a lot of it's happening energetically, a lot of it's not up to you. So understanding what is your part. This is the key to manifesting anything you want, your absolute most magical dream life, right? It is escaping the mind, disconnecting from the ego, because the constant stream of thoughts, they're always going to be there. But when you disassociate from them, they actually dissolve. We don't need to do years and years and years of healing and mindset work. We just need to connect to this deeper knowing, this deeper awareness that's actually already there underneath it all, right? I know this has been a long one today, but I really felt so cool to share this all with you in this way today. And I just want to finish up by saying that if this has really truly spoken to you, if you're really ready to create in this way, then Unlocked and Unleashed is for you. The brand new mastermind that is coming up, it's starting quite soon, is exactly all about this. It is a journey into your soul's awakening and quantum manifestation, right? It is knowing how to command miracles. It is the combination of the consciousness, quantum, and manifestation all rolled into one. So it's going way beyond the mind, way beyond the ego, into the soul, and finding that deep inner peace and freedom right now, and then commanding miracles from that place. So I'm so excited for the women that have already jumped in. The link will be in the show notes. If you have any questions, of course, send me a DM on Instagram at I am Susan Francis, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye for now.